Hey there, I just wanted to jump in here and say thank you for being a part of my community, particularly my podcast community. I know that you take time out of your day to listen to my various podcasts, my inspirational thoughts, insights, and truths that I share, but also the success interviews that I have with high achievers from many different fields. And I just wanted to reach out personally and say thank you. In particular, my team and I have noticed that over the last few days, there's been an uptick in many of you leaving reviews or leaving a star rating for the podcast. And they've all been positive. And I just want to say personally, thank you. It takes time to do a podcast, and it is my love, so it doesn't feel like it's work at all. But it does take time to do the podcast and the success interviews and so forth. And I just want you to know in all the sincerity that I can convey to you that I appreciate you, and I hope that you're getting value out of the different podcasts. And by the way, I realize that you may not agree with everything that I say, and that's okay. We've got to live in a world where we can have different ideas put forth and heard. And I hope that many of the ideas that I put forth are acceptable. But, and my hope in the end is that you're able to use some of those nuggets as a reminder, as a pick-me-up, as a checkup from the neck up, like Zig Ziglar would always say, that will keep you on that path of achieving your goals and your dreams, strengthening your families and your relationships, and finding not only success in life, yes, that's important, but also happiness and fulfillment along the way. You do have greatness within. And I got to tell you, even in my darkest moment, many years ago when I wrote my first book in the backseat of my car, oh, those were tough days. Those were dark days. But deep down, I always believed that there was greatness within me waiting to be unleashed. And in time, that greatness was able to shine. Not at the first moment I wanted it to, but in time after that book was published, and it just, if you think you can, just took off and sold a lot around the world, 34 different countries. And maybe some of that comes from the fact that recently I was looking at an old photo album that my wife put together early in our marriage, and she somehow got a hold of my grades from grade school, report cards from grade school, and I'll be honest with you. My daughter, Kyla, was reading through them and had to laugh. Because in the 4th grade, I didn't realize this till about a month ago. Some 40 years later or whatever it is, that I had an F in effort. I had an F in reading. I had an F in math. How does someone get an F in effort? But the beautiful thing was, although I'm sure some of those beliefs of I can't do it, I don't have the ability, my brother Steve can read better than me, so why should I even try? All those kinds of thoughts and ideas, sure, they were in me, but there was something even deeper in me. And it was that belief that there was greatness within me, that if I wouldn't give up on my dreams wouldn't give up on me. And I knew if I just worked hard enough and I adjusted my strategy along the way and I got around the right people and I listened to the right information, that eventually I could supersede my conditioning. And that's exactly what happened. So when I do executive coaching or I work with someone on an individual level or I hear stories or receive emails or people leave messages and so forth about how they say, I can't do it, I've tried a million times, I'm hard of hearing that because of where I started. The great thing is I had what Dennis Waitley would call the seeds of greatness. And for a lot of years, it was just a seed. And when I was 15 years old, and I listened to that tape really on accident, that tape by Jim Rohn, on one side, it said the day that turned my life around. On the other side, it said how to live financially independent. I took that tape up to my bedroom not knowing what it was about. I was 15 years old. My family was large. Finances were tight. I took that tape. Someone had given it to my dad. And that tape blew me away because it told me I could be something I never even dreamt I would ever be capable of. It told me to never give up. It told me all leaders are readers. It told me that if you don't read, you get rickets of the mind. I know that for some of you listening to this have heard that story a couple times by now, I'm sure. But it's a core part of my story. And so in 2003, 2004, when my prospects of being successful and needing to provide for the family and living in the basement of my parents' home with a young family, I had 2 boys at the time. There's that part of me that was like, maybe TJ, you should just go get a job. I contemplated it. But there was that other part of me that says, don't, TJ, don't give up. Don't give up. You're on the 10-yard line. Don't give up until you do every possible strategy that you've ever thought of. And the one strategy I had thought about, but I hadn't done because I didn't know how to do it, was to write a book. As you know, the rest is history now because I've written several books. But in that dark moment, I just doubled down on my belief, not the excuse, not the worry. I doubled down on my belief, and it just seemed like the carpet appeared beneath my feet. And within a matter of a couple months, my world changed. And we moved out of my parents' home. We bought a house. And everything changed from then on. But that's life. And I've learned not to worry anymore. I've learned that if you'll hang in there with a smile and you'll keep going, even though there's some nights that keep you up late at night because you worry, it just seems like at the moment you're at your breaking point, as long as you keep a level of hope in there, it's just funny how things work out. So I say trust the process, believe in yourself. And again, I just wanted to say thank you for listening to my podcasts and for leaving reviews and star ratings for the podcast. By the way, if you ever have a particular subject that you would like me to train on, and I'm always open to ideas. If there's a particular thing you want me to focus on, hey, feel free to email me. It's simple. Just email our team at info@greatnesswithin.com. info @greatnesswithin.com. And we will really look at it as a possibility to train on that particular subject, or whatever's got you up late at night, maybe we can speak to. And I'm happy to do some research in those areas and see, hopefully it can provide something that will be beneficial to you and to all the listeners. All right. I wish you the best. Now go out there and unleash your greatness within.